Hi foodie friends, and welcome back to another video. Fun fact about me, one of my favorite foods in the whole entire world is sushi. When I saw this recipe pop up all over my Instagram and my YouTube, I definitely needed to give it a try. So in today's video, we will be making the famous baked sushi recipe, and it's essentially a massive sushi casserole that you bake in the oven for 15 minutes, eat with some roasted seaweed, and it's chef's kisses. Before we get started, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more recipe videos from me, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to need is 250 grams of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mayonnaise, any brand will do, 4 cups of imitation crab, shredded or roughly chopped. Isn't it crazy that this isn't even crab? 1 cup of baked salmon. I just threw the fillet straight into the oven with no seasoning and chopped it up. Then we are going to need some sticky rice. If you don't have sticky rice, you can also use jasmine rice in this recipe. The brand that I'm using today is President's Choice, and I cook the entire bag based on the instructions on the back. The next thing that we're going to need is some roasted seaweed. I get mine from Costco. And because this recipe feeds quite a few people, we are going to need about 8 of these packages. Up next, we have 2 tablespoons of sesame oil on the left, and on the right we have 2 tablespoons of sushi seasoning. If you don't have this, you can sub this for rice vinegar as well. I already know I'm going to butcher this, but we are going to need some furikake. Now for garnishes, we are going to need 1 cup of green onions and 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, some Kewpie Japanese mayo, and this is completely optional, but of course some Sriracha if you need that kick. So the first step in this recipe will be to mash up our softened cream cheese. To our cream cheese, we are going to add in the mayonnaise, and we're going to give these two a good mix. Now we are going to mix in some of the green onions into our mixture. Guys, quick sidebar, I am obsessed with green onions. I know onion breath is a thing, but honestly, ain't no shame in my onion game. And that's the truth. So once the onions have been mixed in, we are just gonna scoot this over to the side and work on our protein. In a large bowl, and I really do mean large, add in your imitation crab and salmon and give them a good mix. So as I was saying earlier, imitation crab actually doesn't even have crab meat in it. It's a combination of starch and pulverized white fish that they kind of put together and trick you by making it look like crab meat. That's crazy, huh? Comment down below if you knew that. Now to our salmon and imposter crab, we are going to mix in our cream cheese and mayo mixture and mix it all up. Once mixed, we can set this off to the side, and now it's time to work with our rice. So in a very large bowl this time, we are going to take the sesame oil and sushi seasoning or rice vinegar and mix that into the rice. At this point, you're probably going to notice that mixing sticky rice is the hardest thing to do ever in the world, but it's okay. You gotta burn those calories to get that sushi. Now to your rice, you are going to add in, I'm not even gonna try to say it again, so I'm just gonna call it rice seasoning. I am just eyeballing it here, but you can add as much as you'd like. And once you've added it, you are going to get your second workout because we're gonna have to mix this into the rice. Now that we got our workout in, I'm taking a casserole dish that's a 13-inch by 9-inch, and we are going to take our rice and dump it in and spread it throughout the bottom of this dish. Ooh, she thick. Once our rice is nice and flat, I'm going to add in more rice seasoning and half of our sesame seeds. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but sushi seems to be the one food where I have this third stomach. Whenever I go to an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet, I can eat 3 times the amount of food that I usually do, and I just don't understand it. Once you're done seasoning your rice, you can take the salmon and crab mixture and smooth that on the top of your rice. This dish is filled to the brim with yummy sushi goodness, and you're also gonna notice it's gonna weigh like 15 pounds, but it's totally worth it. Now it is time to garnish the top of our sushi bake. I am just gonna drown the top of mine with some Japanese mayo. You can put as little or as much as you want. Again, no judgment here. I'm also going to be adding Sriracha, but because not everyone in my family can take spice, I'm only gonna be keeping it to half the dish. Then we are going to top off the sushi bake with the rest of our sesame seeds. And obviously, more green onion. I actually added more green onion off camera, so yeah, add as much as you'd like. Now we are going to place our sushi bake in the oven and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Out of the oven, she is going to be beautiful, bubbly, and delicious. So there are a couple of ways you can eat a sushi bake. The first way, and the way that I prefer, is just getting in there, grabbing a spoonful, throwing it onto some roasted seaweed, and shoving it into your mouth. The second and less aggressive way to eat a sushi bake, which I show in this video, is by cutting the bake into cute little rectangular pieces so it's easier to scoop out and plop onto your roasted seaweed. You can also add more green onion and Japanese mayo on the top. You know I did. This bake is so delicious. There is a reason why everyone is making this right now. You guys should definitely try this out. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more recipe videos from me, subscribe to my channel, and also check out some of my other yummy recipes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. So good.